And in that motion, I just say 70%, since we don't have the actual dollar amount.
I'm trying to think the best way to word this.
Basically, for hospice transports to the hospital, it'll only be 70% of the normal rate it's charged.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Board of Commission will write off 30%.
Yeah.
Okay.
When there's a transfer from hospice to the hospital, normally it's hospice pays for that. What they're asking for is a reduction in the rate. They'll still reimburse it like 30% of what a normal rate will be. So somebody make a motion. And
Is it 30% or 70%?
It would be a 30% write-off.
Okay, so they're still paying 70%.
Still
Yeah, they're
paying
still
70.
saying
Oh, well,
paying
that's better than
70%.
I had that
Okay.
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
Sorry.
I moved, so moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Reed. Hey, DJ.
Good morning. You ready for me?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any paperwork or anything today. As we talked about in the last meeting, I spoke with Dave Yost and Keith Nabil about the price of the pickup here at Yostport. They went over the bid, and they found they didn't get all the discount codes put in. And so, yes, their price matched up exactly with Dan Brenner's at $34,735.84.
I was pretty confident it
Yes.
would.
So I went ahead and ordered the pickup. It will be here mid-January.
Okay.
I'm not going to have to encumber any money to take across. I talked to Dave Fleming about how we're going to get money for him to help me pay for it, and we're going to take it out of the capital outlays, which automatically roll over, so that I don't have to worry there.
Okay.
We haven't discussed the amount we're going to exchange.
What was the difference?
The difference, $1,289.84.
Say that one more time.
$1,289.34. That's where I fell short on just the pickup.
When's it getting here?
Middle of January.
Deer season still on?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
You know, I could take it out on
We
the front.
break it in. I think we cut coyotes better out of it, is what I'm thinking. At least break it in.
Yep.
Yeah, I see no problem with that, Derek.
Okay.
That's why the business is still underwater.
And I appreciate you going up and talking to them again. I just had the feeling that,
No, because I just wanted to reiterate with them that, you know, there should not be a big difference if you're getting from the same factory, and about the fuel charge and surcharge and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that disappeared or not, but like I said, the price came down to what it should be. So
okay,
Good deal.
I'm happy with it, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
outstanding.
And I'll continue to work out the details of, I believe in next year's budget, I will be able to get everything transferred over and set back up for roads.
Well, with you being new to it this year, and us being new, yeah, we've done about as good as we can do. So,
Another item of discussion is back in September, when we were speaking of the letter that was rescinded. I asked also about what we're charging for equipment to be moved from $35 an hour to $50 an hour to kind of help with reimbursement of cost on what I'm putting out, because I spend average about $26,000 in chemical, obviously at least $32,000 in labor a year, and I'm recouping back between $11,000 and $15,000 as, you know, paying back for spring.
at the $35
Yes,
rate.
and that's just a little low. And if you move up to $50, I still won't be making profit, but I'll come closer to 22 to 25,000 projected re-encumbered expenses.
Well, it's probably been 35 for 20
Yeah,
years, hasn't it?
yeah, and like I showed a while back, Goodwin's charging $100. A lot of them are up there $75, but I'm not trying to make profit. I'm here to help our landowners and farmers and ranchers and everybody I can.
$50 an hour is pretty cheap with the equipment we're putting out there.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to go ahead and increase the fees from $35 an hour to $50 an hour?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say aye. Okay.
Thank you. And then the last thing we tabled to see about Leslie had come up with a policy for reimbursement of,
I did, and they approved it this morning.
well, thank you.
And Scott will get that out to the department head later today, and it'll go in the employee handbook. So, yeah, and at the rate we discussed, 3% for successful and 1.5 for unsuccessful, but yet giving the time and effort, reimburse it at half the rate.
Okay.
And
No.
They have to be approved by the commission before you write the grant.
Yes.
So if you find a grant out there, bring it in. We'll discuss it, and if we feel it's feasible to go after the grant, that's when this will kick in.
No, I don't have anything, future looking at.
Well, we're hoping that this will get more people out there looking for grants. More avenues.
Yeah, well, yes, it's better to use given federal funding than it is from county budget or personal pocket.
Yeah.
And it's great that we have many donators and contributor partners within Cheyenne County and Kansas.
Well, we just hope this generates some more activity and
So will Kelly and I get money for what we did for the two? Okay. I did. No, because I know we did discuss them back in September as well for the two
Yeah.
Hanson grants that I did right. Well, I appreciate it. That's all I have.
Okay, DJ,
Thank you.
thank you.
Stop in there and give Sharissa your email.
Yes. Thank you.
Dan, right on time.
Thought any more about like the road and bridge not having the CNCOKS email addresses?
It was one of those things I kind of looked into, and it's just it wasn't my priority. But yeah, they don't use the CNCOKS email.
Book.
I'll do some more. How about if I do some more digging, Roger, so I can explain it to you?
Okay.
All right.
You want?
Thank you.
Okay. The first topic on this list isn't to open up a can of worms per se, but we've been dividing a lot of our stuff out on rescue between St. Francis and Cheyenne County, but not including Bird City in that.
And what kind of stuff you talking about?
Well, like saw blades or
First tool,
Yeah,
jaws.
Oh, I don't know if they actually paid anything for the jaws or not, but like the one saw blade I split between the county and the city, because that's what I was told we always did, was $400 blade. And unfortunately, we've ruined it. That'll come up in here in a little bit.
I'm sure Bird City thanks you.
I'm sure they do too, but it's just more or less what you guys want to do. I mean,
So we've basically got like a gentleman agreement with the city just to share the cost of most of this, but we've never included Bird City, is that
I
what it boils
guess,
down
or
to?
I don't know if it's that or if it's just the fact.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the chief here and I just find it out, or
You're the chief, you figure it
or,
out, buddy.
You know, that's what I don't know with Birch City. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I don't
What
know.
does Lauren say? Have you talked to
I
him?
haven't talked to him. I'm gonna hopefully tonight. No,
Rescue's gonna respond to accidents in
in Birch City.
No matter
city
where it's
limits,
at.
so.
And then, like I said, we take it to all structure fires because of the saws or whatever.
Sure.
And maybe we need to give Birch City the same option, obviously, if we're gonna, to take it over there if we need to. So
Well, have a conversation with Lauren and see if he knows how this was.
it was just kind of something to be brought up and think about.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we have to make action on it right this minute, but. And like I said, on the last line there, it's, maybe we could work out something where they take their truck to county structure fires, because me personally, I don't think our county trucks should be fighting structure fires. After I did our class, I found out you can get in big trouble real fast with that little amount of water.
Well, yeah,
that
the
they put
equipment
out.
is different too, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's a whole different method to fight structure fire as a grass fire.
Right. So then the next one, that being said, like that blade we did ruin, we were actually cutting hogs out of a trailer. I wonder if we should be billing out of county people, because the taxpayers are paying for rescue, I agree, but out of county people are not paying.
Well, I know it's done on several different levels. Search and rescue, no matter where it's at, it's always usually billed out to.
And I don't know, that's where we may need to look into like a third-party billing place, or, 'cause otherwise it'd have to be Scott billing, and I'm sure he's got enough on his plate.
Probably. What we probably need is to contact some other communities that do bill, see what they're billing and how they're billing it. Is it per hour? Is it by use of equipment? Is it manpower showed up?
I spoke to Brian James over in Goodland a little bit about it, because they were billing, but their company they were going through no longer bills for rescue. But at that time, he said that they had a rate for everything. If you used a broom, they had a rate for how much the broom was.
I'm assuming that's pretty much.
But finding someone to bill it, he's having problems with that now. And he said in the first 3 years that they billed out, they paid for all the rescue equipment, their
Really?
truck, and they were only billing out of county people as well.
Okay, that was my next question. Who are they actually billing? Probably trucking companies or anybody else at Rex or?
Right. But they got the interstate too, so
Yeah.
3 years worth of Rex is a lot of Rex probably for
Yeah.
them compared to us.
Trust me, I know what. I think it's something we need to look into. Just need to ask more questions and see if anybody's got a rate schedule and find out who we can use to bill it.
Okay, I'll do some more looking. I just want
Okay.
to bring it up, see if we want to pursue it or if we just want to keep going as we were.
I don't think it's a bad idea, especially when you're talking these big truck wrecks, and like your hog truck.
Well, you spend a lot of man hours out there.
You spend a lot of man hours, because by the time you get the patient out there, now you got to wait on insurance companies, you got to wait on everybody else to get there before you can even start moving it. And I think if it's a reasonable amount, and if it's a customary amount, insurance companies wouldn't balk at it one bit. We just need to get a rate plan in place and have it approved.
Okay, you want me to look into third-party billing then?
I would.
Something like that? Try
Yeah.
to find somebody?
See if there is such a thing. You might give another couple of small counties a call around, see what they're doing.
Okay. Do that. We talked about this rescue tool. I think you gotta get a copy of all of it. This one's a demo, and it's actually for sale right now at $6,900. The last page shows what one costs new. It's $10,141. I don't know if it's something.
It's basically a Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the next page there, or next pamphlet deal, the picture of it. It's actually a combination tool. It cuts and spreads both. I don't know how well they work, but I guess if we get one, we'll figure it out. You can always change them out if it doesn't. You can change the jaws to just cutters if we have to down the road. And he said the demo model still would have a 10-year warranty from the manufacturer date, and it was manufactured in 2016.
So, is this the one we were thinking of putting in Bird City?
I don't know how we're gonna do it.
Or what are you gonna?
We were gonna have it for us, basically, yeah. Some we could grab and throw in a pickup if we had to and go, you know, over there if we're already out, or.
I'd hate to get involved in that aspect of it. You being a fire chief, I think it's up to you where you want to put it and how you want it to.
Well, I need to talk to Bird City. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
trying to get a meeting over there. I haven't had the luck yet, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm hoping tonight, because he said something about maybe having a meeting tonight.
Okay. Well, huge difference in price here. I'm thinking we couldn't hardly go wrong, especially if they're going to warranty it.
How old is our old dog?
Our old job, I had paper on that.
30 years old.
Yeah, at least 25 years probably.
I was on the commission when we bought it, and surely it's not the original one, but it probably
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, it is.
It is the original.
They're hard to wear out.
Of course, that next page shows, but I know that. I had him just price out everything if we was to buy a whole set, and you can see what the total come out
33,
there.
34,000.
But you would get rid of, I don't know why you priced the combi tool and the two separate cutter spreader, because you could do away with that combi tool in that case.
You got enough budget left for this.
I have that back here, back page. I actually have 7824 in capital outlay that's been carried over for 6 months now. So, I talked to Dolores the other day in special fire. If we need to go there, we've got 57,000 in there. So,
Well, I think it's something this county's been needing for a while as a backup.
No, it's, when I was on the fire department, I was amazed that there was just one,
Yeah.
and it was a gas engine, and you just, you know, it's tested monthly, or more, weekly or whatever it is.
yeah.
But you get out to an accident, what if it doesn't start? You know, luckily it's always started.
That back page is just an adapter, which I don't think we need it right now, but it's an option that if we think we need it down the road, you can get it, you just plug it in and then plug it into a generator. If you get into where you're burning up two batteries too fast, or I would say start with just that package there and see how we go from there. You know, see how much longer batteries. So I guess at first I'd like to keep it here and try it and make sure we have the other jaws there for backup, just in case the batteries don't hang with us or whatever. And then if we need to move it to Bird City later, we can. Or
Well, like we said years ago, the center of the county was just between Wheeler and St. Francis. So the Jaws is the center as far as getting to every part of the county equally on time. So,
Well, I think I'd like to see us go forward with your demo here.
it's gonna save us $3,000. We've been talking about it.
Well, I like the fact that they're willing to warranty it still for 10 years.
Dan has the money in the budget.
Yeah, he's real close anyway.
This one, like I said, it's here. We take that capital outlay, I think.
He's got a 78,2490 in capital outlay, and the total here is 7,735, so it would cover that.
And actually
There's
this,
57,000 in the special fire.
Yeah, the special
yeah, there's
fire.
57,000 in special fire. Cause three years ago, we bought rescue out of special fire. And I've been putting 25 in every year since then, trying to get built back up.
Park City used a little bit of that too.
I don't remember. Part of the 7735 is also he put it on the same bill, but it's a 4 gas meter, like for testing air in houses and stuff. I priced it because we don't have anything, and after that grain bin deal out there and going down in that hole, we really should have something with us when we go down. But I believe on that deal, I think the city would help us as long as they have access to it as well.
And I think it's a good idea
Because we don't have anything down there now either.
it plays such a wide role. I mean, meth labs, gas, and, yeah, crazy for not having one now.
There will probably be a little shipping on that, just that part. The combi tool there won't be because he's carrying it
So the
around
sheriff's
with him.
office could be using it. Well, you said like meth labs, I mean,
Well, you test the air
right.
before you should test the quality of the air before you go into these.
So-
Even if you have a self-contained breathing apparatus, you should still be testing the air. Luckily enough, these
Do a
guys
lot.
don't have that, but the problem is, a lot of times these places, you don't know what's going on there until the fire breaks out. And then you don't know the cause of it until you're already in there. And they're dangerous enough without the unknown. Because I know the patrol has several of them. They test quality of the air before they go in different places.
We had a used one that was from the gas company, I believe, but the sensors have gone bad. And
Yeah, because I know at times we'd call Gene Dodd or somebody from the gas company to come too. They'd always done it, but it'd be nice to have one.
like this one, you can put it around one of the guys that's down there in the hole, and if it goes off, you can get the hell out of there.
Get 'em out.
So what do you thinking the price of it is, or?
It's the
It's gonna,
835.
yeah, it's gonna be $835, and then there'll be a little ship. I don't know what shipping is on it, but it's probably. Yeah, there would be nothing capital outlay to cover most
Yeah.
of that. It looks like. And the year's about over. So. Like selling gas meter, I would bet the city will help cover the cost, whether it be city fire or somewhere else, just as long as we have access to it, we would, so.
Well, before we make a motion on that, why don't you go see what the city would do?
Okay.
On that
On the
800.
On the nat gas meters? I mean,
Oh, I'm sure they will, I have no doubt.
it's kinda hard to make a motion if we don't know what it's gonna cost us.
Well, we can always go ahead and make the motion for this 7,735, which includes
That,
that, and then we can be reimbursed at a later point in time if the city decides to do that. Because he does have it in his budget already to cover both. I'd say we go ahead and get it.
Okay,
Make a motion?
so move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, and this is to Danco Emergency Equipment for a combo package rescue tool. And then a Sensit air quality
Gas
detection,
meter, yeah.
detection device.
On this page here, I brought this up a while back. I know Ed was on at the time, but I'm not sure you guys were. But these cylinders, as you can see, can rupture when they're being filled. And I've been looking into fill containments, and I finally got a price on one. This is the fill containment here. It's $4,600.
What are you doing now? It's not contained at all.
Just open it
Set them on a table.
Okay.
Is there any safety officers around?
Yeah.
Did not hear that.
No.
And this is something I can go talk to the city about and come back, because I need to see, I'm not sure that I have that in my budget over there, but I think maybe I can pull some strings and move some stuff around, maybe. I don't know whether I can or not, but if not, we can do it after the first of the year as well.
All right. Well, let's table this one then until,
But I also, like that, I know if we had to, that money could come out of special fire, and we could get it. Because at the end of the year, there should be another $25,000 going in there, so it shouldn't be over budget,
do you fill at both locations or
just here.
just one?
I think we're the only one that has a
Let them
compressor.
go up in lawsuits, kind of.
Well, yeah,
Way.
yeah, I can't believe we don't have some already.
Yeah. And I mean, there will be some shipping to that, I'm sure, because I think it's 400 pounds. So I'm sure $400 shipping, $300 or $400 shipping.
All right,
But
well, let's do some more checking on that. And
the other thing I had was if we want to put a burn ban in effect or not. Sherman County did at the beginning of the week,
well, I'll tell you what, it's dry. I remember that.
and I know I just got an email now that somebody's burning, but
And I looked at the 10-day forecast, and there's absolutely no chance of moisture for the next 10 days, if I remember right.
yeah, I didn't see anything either. So
Ooh, 40% now chance now on Monday.
I guarantee if you put this burn ban in effect, we'll have to meet Tuesday to lift it. But
Yeah, that's not a hard thing.
That'd be all right.
Yeah, that's not a hard thing. I think for the safety of the county and our liability, that's something we need to do.
yeah, 'cause it's pretty dry everywhere out there.
Yeah.
Luckily, that we had a skid steer fire the other day, and they were cutting trees down by the pond out here. He got her up on the road before it
So it
went
didn't-
completely up in flames.
Need to make a motion to implement a burn ban for Cheyenne County.
So,
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. And we'll see how the weather goes before we make a decision on whether to lift it or not, but
Okay.
let's go ahead and do it.
We need a resolution on that, correct?
Do we need resolution
I
or
think we have
just?
to do that by resolution.
Thanks.
I think that's
I
right.
think so.
So, we'll make one up.
We'll get on it.
Okay. That's all I have unless you guys have something for me.
I don't think so, Dan.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Elmer, I think we have time for you.
Okay, well, if you don't, that's fine.
No, well, I think we'll,
Next meeting or something.
I think we're in good
Well,
shape.
It'll be fast, unless you got a lot of questions for me.
Okay.
I've been representing you as an RC&D. Are you familiar with RC&D? I think they send you a report every year on that, and I've been doing it for I don't know how many years. Eric Fiala did it years ago, and he might, I guess, spend more time with his son or something. So So I've been going there, but I'm at the point I don't hear. I missed most of what you were talking about sitting a while ago, so I have trouble hearing. A lot of the members are the soil conservation people. You're probably aware of that. You budget every year, or you give $500 to that. Soil conservation gives $100 each community. I think almost all the communities in the area are doing it. I've been participating in it. And so I've been your representative, but like I say, I have trouble hearing, and maybe it's time for some new ideas and some new people. And the people, now some of the commissioners are, Francis Britton from Thomas County, you know him or not. He's a commissioner. He's been coming to meetings the last several months. And then there's a commissioner from Sheridan County that's been coming to their meetings. So one of you could represent on the RC&D, or you can appoint somebody to do it. And so I just feel it's time for me to resign. I never did sign anything, so I don't really need to resign anything. So I didn't know what your request. I can write you a letter of resignation if you want one. If you don't, why, I can just tell you, I'll serve yet. I'm sorry.
Do you have anybody in mind? Do you have anybody?
No, I don't have anybody in mind at all, no. They meet once a month, normally the second Thursday of the month. They've been meeting in Colby. Colby's kind of center of the area. It's about an 8-county, Cheyenne, Rollins, Decatur, Sheridan, Thomas, Sherman, Wallace, and Logan counties, I think, is the main group. It's about 8 counties, I think.
And so this organization is just these 8 counties. It's not state funded or federally funded.
It used to be. Your funding is about only the funding they're getting, I think now.
So
I'm sorry.
No, out of the 8 counties, they're the total funding source for this.
Right. To my knowledge, that's right. They used to it started. I understand it started back in the '60s. Our Resource Conservation and Development, and it was designed by the Department of Agriculture. Well, they've cut back on a lot of their funding and stuff. So we make microloans. I think they've got $70,000-$80,000 ready to make microloans along with people who start businesses and stuff. That way they do that along with other things that they're doing. And so anyway, I just wanted to let you know. I'll attend the next meeting. There's one coming up 2 weeks from today, I think, down at Colby, and I'm willing to go attend that. I have trouble hearing. Those girls' voices are soft, and I miss a lot of what's going on.
Okay.
And I've done it so long, maybe it's time for some new people to come online. And
Do we not have a local board, a resource?
well, we're supposed to. See,
conservation?
I've tried to have, I couldn't get anybody to come. I did. Rodney Radcliffe came to some meeting. I tried to get Scott. We tried to get local. It really is designed that way, and that's another problem I have. It's terribly difficult to get people together. See, it really, the whole concepts, I understand, it was designed to get grassroots, clear down here at the local level. We would bring things to that meeting, but I had trouble getting people. I'd had call meetings, and I had Helen Dobbs was on the team, but it was just hard to get people together to do anything. And I think that's great. To me, that's what ought to happen.
Yeah.
But it really hasn't happened. I'm the only one, I think, the only person who tried to get that to happen in our local. Danny represents soil conservation. She'd come sometimes, and
Right.
we had a few meetings here. And if we make that happen, I think that, to me, that's ideal. That's the way it ought to be, grassroots. Information, you guys say, hey, there's what needs to be done in Cheyenne County. How can RC&D be us help on that? Because they had to pass through, they could write grants and do all kinds of stuff. It had some really neat features about it, but to make it work, I go to these meetings all the time, and it wasn't happening in the other county that I could see generally. Once in a while, they did. The recent one we had was the new community center in Brewster. The Lions Club did a lot of work on that, and they got a loan from RC&D, worked on a grant to help them get grant money. They got the Henry outfit put a bunch of money into a matching grant concept. And that's great. I wish it would happen that way, but I never could make it happen. I'd get 1 or 2 of those people to show up, and then trying to get things. I was interested in the Riverwalk out here, how RC&D might be involved in Riverwalk. We did one at Goodland years ago. The Votech School had one of their houses, and we did a bunch of them. We got a part of our team together and did some landscaping for that house over there. And a lot of neat things can happen, but I wasn't able to make it happen. And whoever takes my place, I hope they can do that. And if you want to go, it'd be interesting for you to go and just see what happens there and find out, And I think it's neat if a commissioner would either be be that person, or maybe you be they have a proxy. Sometimes you can't go, you say, well, have my proxy go, and they have a vote on the thing too, but.
Well, let's get a little more information on this. I'll run out and talk to Danny and see, maybe she has somebody that might be interested.
Right. That's a great concept, but making it work at the grassroots level has really been challenging. And the lady, Sandy Rogers, you know her, Sandy Rogers, she's the Danny and Goodland, their office manager, and they call it the Alliance. And those girls have done it. One at Oberlin works in there, Diana Soko, and a lady from Oakley, they're real active in that thing, and they do a lot of really neat stuff. And to me, they've been holding this thing together. A lot of the RC&Ds have disbanded throughout the country, and ours is one of the more active ones out here in Kansas even, that they've been having regular meetings and trying to do things. But it's real challenging. I guess you're aware of that. Everybody thinks they're busy. And so anyway, if you have any questions for me, I've been trying to represent, I know, I guess I haven't done a good job maybe communicating with you guys on this all the time, because I suppose I'm representing you guys when I go down there.
Well, I'll go out and I'll ask some questions, and we'll see between Cale and Danny if they have anybody that.
So, and again, if one of you wanted to, if we wanted to do, we have one, they appoint one person from soil conservation, and then you as the commissioners appoint the other, your representative. So we have 2 representatives from each county that works on this, so.
Okay. Well, we'll start asking some questions and see what we get.
Okay, but if you have more questions, feel free to call me anytime. I'm
Okay.
24/7. Well, I say 7-11. If I'm not up by 7 in the morning, get me out of bed, and if I'm in bed before 11 o'clock, I'm sick. So that's the way I operate. So.
All right, Elmer. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank
you. And if you got more questions, I'll be glad to
Okay.
work with you any way I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you later.
Here's resolution 1722 for the burn unit.
Okay, I made an executive decision. The last time I did this, I made every man. So I decided to start driving around. Okay, so.
Got a question for you, Dave. When we committed to moving the dirt for the assisted living, did we commit to the loads? Or,
I was not told, I was just told we were supposed to take them dirt, but it was way more than they estimated.
well, that's what, I mean, Hutton signed a contract with us, and it was gonna cost so many dollars to build this. And if that was an oversight on their part, and we had to do a lot of extra dirt work, somebody ought to be paying the county.
Well, it seems like they asked the county to do some dirt work. I don't know.
They did, but not to the extent that we're doing now.
Not like
Because
it. extents we're
Eddie
doing.
asked, but yeah, I don't, yeah.
I think we just kind of blanket agreed, yeah, we'll help you with the dirt work. But then when the engineer came back and said,
Wanted to do all, that wasn't
We
our
needed-
fault, that the
Yeah.
engineer wanted to move all that stuff and relay it.
And the last meeting I went to, they gave me some numbers, and I said, I think you're low on these numbers, and, oh, we think we're good. I think it's 25 to 3,000 yards, they told me. And then I figured just the base of it alone, the distance they was talking was like 3,700. We hauled 4,487. That's a lot of yards.
That's a
And
lot of
we-
yards.
We took almost everything of the topsoil up here. The swimming pool dirt that we had hauled from here, I was planning on using to go there. Well, then they took that down to the Keller Pond. So then I said, well, we'll go out here to the sewer pond. Well, then they wouldn't accept that, and they didn't like polling, so we wound up going over the railroad, which is a little further yet, but we had to do something. We're done, but we had to do something. And Brock's paid per yard, like, so they had to take it out so deep, and then he's also paid, you know, to water and put it back.
Well, somebody, it seems like they dropped the ball.
That's correct. And the only thing they told him at that last meeting was they had this overage that they was working off of, and that would come out of that contingent figure, whatever. Like
So they had an overage fund, correct?
Yes,
Yes, I remember them talking about that.
but I'm not sure it's gonna be enough to compensate this. I think the engineers goofed up on this. Well, the other thing is they didn't study these soils well enough, and they should have come back and did more precise, because they didn't know for sure where they was gonna go with it, because they were also doing core samples, you know, in a further area, because they was originally thinking of going further west with this, so. And they didn't specifically go to that point, and then there's these voids in there, and I guess one of the technicians actually caught that in these soil types that they need to go deeper, but I think they went deeper than they needed to be. But it's good and solid, I'm not doubting that, it's done right, and everybody's gotta get their finger in the pot to make sure everything's done right, so nobody can come back on it. But
Yeah, but change the game plan that much with no notice is kind of,
Well, it's costing the county
well, yeah,
out of Dave's budget.
yeah.
And we're not done yet either, because when you get the building in, we gotta do the landscaping area, right, you know, build it up to that slope too. Other than some of that will come out of the parking lot, you know, dirt out that area, lower that down, I'm guessing.
Well, it just, I don't know.
Well, I think
guess
somebody
something
needs,
we'll learn from, I guess.
well, I think somebody needs to have a conversation with Hutton too.
That's right. And it looks to me like it was the engineer's problem. He ought to be covering this.
Well, that's the way it sounds.
Well, I think
What
that
happened?
Dave needs to put those numbers together. I mean, you were told this amount, and then this is what you did in addition to that amount. Come up with those numbers and what it actually cost the county and approach the contractor. Because all of this stems from that engineer coming out and saying, oops. And all of this additional work and emergency, quote unquote, et cetera, all arose from that one engineer. And so this was not anticipated. This was not a part of the agreement that we made with them in regards to the dirt work, and I think it needs to be addressed.
I do too.
And you sure ain't gonna get any money unless you ask.
I don't know who's gonna, I mean, the engineer's not gonna be coming up with that amount of dollars though.
No, but
Well, they're
I mean,
gonna
I
have
can
to
give you
work
some
on
numbers, I gotta take them up later to give, and I'm sure that's how Brock.
But it ought to be between Hutton and the engineers.
True.
You know, we hired you to come out here and sample this and tell us what we need to do. Then you changed your minds. And there's a lot more expense, a lot more.
who's your contact person with Hutton up there?
I can't say that,
With Hutton?
because I've been pretty well going through Brock or
Brock.
whatever, and then I know there's a foreman, but then,
There's Brian, but then I think another guy came.
what's that?
Brian. But I think he left and some other guy took over.
Well, I'll try to track
All I
Brock
know-
down.
All I know is Brock, he got out of his contract with him. And got, you know, he had a contract to do the dirt work. Then where they changed it, Brock got out of that contract.
Well, I think it changed. I'm not sure if,
So he got paid for the extra work that he's doing. Seems to me like we ought to get paid too.
Let me give you some numbers real quick.
well, let's take a 5-minute break.
Do you want to do that resolution?
Oh, yeah, we better do that resolution.
Sign it. When
I
I,
move we approve resolution 1722 for a burn ban.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Starting today, yes.
somebody needs to sign it.
probably end up gonna have to have you send a letter to, back there.
Well, just because we're a county and we aren't a private contractor doesn't mean that we should be treated any differently, period.
They're just looking at us as a cash cow and free
Exactly,
labor.
exactly.
They're making more money. They had that budgeted, part of it anyway. We're taking a break.
That's fine.
Well, what you got,
Oh,
what's the number?
See, when I went to that second meeting, this was their estimate of yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said, well, just the building footprint alone is gonna be this amount. And this is the amount of yards that we hold.
Good night.
I still think the old sewer pond dirt would work, but there was just that layer of shale in it, and they said it had too much of a swell factor, so therefore they wouldn't allow it. But that didn't ideal.
That's what they ended up calling.
What do you get on there, 22 yards?
21 on one, 23 on the other. I got two different size trailers.
That is a lot of loads.
What?
That is a lot of loads.
Yes, it is. What did they say, 200 and... What's that?
How many?
I'm thinking 200, it is over 200 loads.
It's a lot of loads with 2 trucks.
Sorry, let me guess, because I had some on my desk.
We hauled 4,886 yards. 4,886 yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
When they estimated we were gonna haul
No, I didn't.
25 to 3,000.
25 to 3,000 yards.
Needs to sign it.
Oh, I gotta sign it.
Okay, call the meeting back to order and. Would you dispatch note?
250 loads.
Okay.
I got it on our Facebook page.
Okay.
When it should have been only about half of it, per their estimate.
Yeah,
Or what they
I
told-
originally was thinking, yeah, closer to this 1,500 to 1,700, what I had in my mind, but they were first discussing this, but, see, the deal is, when they insisted they went down, I think it was 5 to 6 feet, which seems astronomical when they found out it didn't have a stabilized base. So when you go to take that down and then start adding dirt back, it increases that much more. But I think they was down probably closer to 3.5 feet when they hit this rock layer, and it was already firm enough for them. And then they didn't have to go down originally. That
So it could have been worse.
could have been worse according to their predictions. And they think you're going to remove the dirt out and put the same amount of yards back, but you don't. You got your compaction factor is much higher on this. So anyway, I got to take this up to them later. So
Seems like a deeper footing would have been a lot better. the footings to rock.
Well, the puzzling part is, why would you go past the frost line? And then the north end's already built up, I think 6 feet higher, so I'm not sure why it did what they did there, but. And the one meeting I went to that night, see, Brock had a bid of 63,085, but since we was hauling the dirt, they would minus this 53,190, so his bid would only been roughly 10,000, but this Starbuck was the only other than that bid it, and he was at 178,000 to do the dirt and everything. But originally, he was just supposed to shave off the 6 inches, and then for that bid, and then we was gonna haul that dirt going up.
Who do you have a meeting with this afternoon? You mentioned.
Well, Brock wanted to know if I could bring some numbers up, so I assume it's with the Hutton foreman and him.
So we might get reimbursed for this, some of this.
I doubt it. No, I really doubt it.
Well, I think we're owed an explanation anyway, whether it be
You need to meet with maybe the DC board.
building commission.
Because they meet before their actual meeting, they meet with Hutton and all those.
Well, I know they have monthly meetings, progress meetings for lack of a better term, but yeah,
That's just not fair to Dave's budget
no,
to be doing that.
It's not fair to the county.
no.
The county, period.
Yeah, overall, we was trying to save them some money, and you can see the difference in the contract
Yeah.
prices, how much you'd be saving them.
That's
But-
just abuse there.
Well, they took advantage of us for sure.
Excuse me.
Or it appears so. Maybe they have a good explanation, but I think we need to start talking to somebody.
Thank you.
That's Keith and Dan doing his Byron taking like some vacation time and stuff.
Yeah. On mine, KDHE is a tank permit renewal at $40. I had to get some more signs. It was out, starting to get a little more vandalism, so kind of keep my eyes open on that, so. And they're taking the signs in the post.
Taking them?
Yeah.
They're just not pushing them over anymore, they're taking them?
Taking them, yeah. So,
The post too. What are they doing with that?
I don't know.
So what did you say, the KDHE, you did what?
it's just a renewal for permit on tank, permitting on my fuel tanks, is what that is. On the national signs, where I'm saying that I had to order some signs because I was out, and I didn't have enough when one of them got stolen, so. All right, down the bottom, it says Greater Kansas Community. This is at St. Francis Community Grant reimbursement at Keller Pond. Bird City Real Estate, this is for our meeting, our deposit refund. And then Rescue and sold some plants. Basically, blade roads, mowing weeds, and cleaning ditches and then hauling dirt to the good sand. That's 2 weeks was hauling dirt to the good sand.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think Terry was here when you said the number of loads.
What'd I tell you, 214?
200
214 loads
Holy cow.
22 yard loads.
as an average. Some are 21, some are 23s. Yeah, see, we got tallies on and all that stuff.
Let me see that a second.
They basically took 3 men, didn't it?
More, well, yeah, on an average, probably 3. When we was hauling from the mixing strip, they could only take 1 truck because they'd have to water it down after we dump it. So you got 1 loading and 1 doing it. When we went to Wheeler, I had 3 as a rule, and then he couldn't keep up, and then it was too hard digging, so I had to send 2 loaders over there to dig it out of the stockpile so we can keep it going, so. Yeah, I kind of compare that building, I keep looking back at the emergency building, you know, we did that all with county forest fund, or majority of it. I realized we had a community grant, you know, but we hauled the dirt in, got it packed in good, used that shale material and worked fine. And when they went to the motorcycle museum, we hauled that shale dirt there and it seemed to work fine. It packs tight, but there is that layer in there. I realized it could swell, but once it got moisture, but once the building's down, you should never have that, I don't think. But that's their basis on that, so.
Roof might leak.
I'm sorry?
The roof might leak.
Might. You may have some seepage, but there again, it'd be very minor, I would think. But there again, they don't want to have anybody, if there's a failure, they want to know who to pinpoint, so.
Yeah.
Keller Pond Bridge, what the plan, they want us to take the
Thank you.
the deck off, remove the stringers, put other stringers on, and then he's gonna deck it and put the handrail on. McAtee's gonna be doing that. My estimate with the planks and labor is gonna be around 1,500. I did get an email back from Tom this morning, I don't know if you guys accepted it, but he thinks we will be reimbursed on this. For this Keller Pond walking bridge.
From who though?
From the
Anticipate
Sunflower Foundation.
Sunflower. I'd like to have a little more reinsurance than he thinks.
Well, I'm starting to get,
Maybe you want to read that more. I should have got my glasses, but okay.
we had a discussion before you got here about county doing projects. And like over there at the Thresher deal, it's against the law. We can't do it. Well, are we doing the same thing out here? Should we?
The only difference is, see, you can do anything that is nonprofit or governmental related, like so the city has the Keller Pond.
Then we could
so
do
we can
that.
do that legally.
It's just with private, doing private work.
So if they're nonprofit, then that's not private?
They aren't county or city or state oriented. They're a private organization.
The Thresher Show, you're saying?
Right.
Okay, so we're all right doing work out here,
Yes.
but we need to be reimbursed, like you said.
Well, Tom's email says the Sunflower Foundation accepted Brock McAtee's bid to pour concrete approaches to the bridge, replace the decking, install new handrails. The cost of the repair of the substructure will be covered by grants from the St. Francis Community Foundation. So it sounds like what he's wanting from you is, or what he's wanting from us is permission to go ahead for it, and then a timeline on the work being done, and he'll submit that to the Sunflower Foundation for reimbursement.
And I was told that'd be done at the end of the year, before the end of the year, which is this month. And I'd have to go to Overland to get the planks. I don't have, mine aren't that long.
How long they gotta be?
32. I had to utilize that piling, and the other thing that concerns me is that the center pier, they never cross-braced it. And you get out there and you can shift it, and I'm thinking, over there, we might as well be doing that. Put an X brace in it,
How many stringers are under that thing?
just 2. And there's
Well,
2.
you'd get rid of half your shake if you put 3 in and an X braced them, wouldn't you?
You'd
As far
gain,
as your shake.
you'd gain some, but not much. But the whole piling, the whole pier is shifting east and west when you move it. So,
So you don't have a bid or anything on this one?
no, I'm just estimating around 1,500 to do this. No.
Backing up just 1 minute, to clarify this, what was your number again for total loads hauled up there?
214. Yeah, show 97, 81, 18, and 18.
Okay.
And on these numbers, see, that's what I'm saying, that one trailer is a 21 yarder, you might, okay.
Yeah, see, times 23, times 21,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it. All right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess I need to get approval or disapproval to do Keller Pond.
As far as the total project goes, where are we at? Are we about done?
That should be it, I think. We just have to get our crane down there so we can pull the others out.
So about $1,500 and possibility of being reimbursed.
A possibility?
Everything's always a possibility until it happens, Roger. But it did stay in there that he is going to submit it. Once he gets Dave's numbers, he'll submit it to the Sunflower Foundation. So I'm assuming he's planning on being reimbursed, or he thinks it'll go through.
Do you wanna do this job?
Well, I'm not thrilled about it, but I don't know who else can do it.
Let it be for them to worry about if you turn it down.
It's your guys' call.
Oh, I think it's your call. I mean, really, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it?
I'm not really interested in doing it, but the other thing is, they're gonna have to hire some lifter or whatever to come do this project, if that's the case, so.
Might want to take into consideration community relations.
Yeah, for $1,500.
And because someone else, lifter's gonna be 4 times that, I'm sure.
I move we go ahead and do it.
I kind of agree with that. I hate to put any more pressure on Dave. Geez, I think you've gone way above and beyond what is even remotely expected of you, especially with this up here. I hate to see you take on something else, but how long do you think it would take you to do this?
I'm guessing 3-4 days.
Yeah.
It's questioning me.
That's a walking bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 or 4 days. How many sandwiches you guys figured on
Well,
sitting there and eating?
but you also got a plan on to go get the stringers and stuff like that.
The moving time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take a day.
And we're not talking 10 on the crew either, where this will only probably be 3 guys down there or so.
Well, we have a motion on the table now. We can get a second.
Second.
All those in favor of
Aye.
aye.
Auction items, I was pleased with our last auction. We sent the mower up there. It brought 3,800. We only paid the $1,000 for the mower, so I was tickled pink with that. And then
Public record.
the chip spreader that we wound up going down Monday, and Dave and Doug got it running down there, loaded up, and that looks like that's going to work out well for us. So I'm pleased with that too. So, crack seal. A salesman was here yesterday from McCormick. Wanted to know if we would be interested in doing this crack seal. I know we have to do it. There's more and more showing up, on that South River Road. They spent a lot on it back in 2015 on this detour road, but it's by the pound is the way they charge us, because they can't hardly estimate how long it's going to take to fill these cracks or anything like that. So we agreed to do it by the pound. I'm probably going to get another bid, but I probably need to get something going on that. So.
And you're looking at next year's budget?
They want to get started this month.
They want to get going, I see.
So, I'm going to compare to the other company, but McCormick was fair with us on the last go, so.
Well,
What was their bid?
That was not a bid, this is what we spent prior,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
and this was on Wheeler Road?
Mostly on the detour road, and then KDOT paid us $100,000 to take over that half mile there, and there was some crack sealing on that too, so,
That they did?
that McCormick did,
Oh, they did too? Okay.
yeah.
Well,
And
if we're
there's,
going to maintain that road, I mean, if you're going to have to extend the life of it, you're going to have to do this.
yep, need to keep the water out, so,
Yeah.
okay. I'm down to employee issues unless you guys got something else, and I call for executive session, discuss a lot of that.
I move to go into executive session for
Non-elected, non-appointed personnel.
non-elected, non-appointed personnel.
How much time do you need, Dave?
Let's say 20 minutes, how's that?
20 minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Just a minute.
I'll grab a drink of water before we get 2 cups of coffee.
You look like you're packing up for the day.
This having been
Pretty well.